Disney 65 fan here, and today I am going to show you, well, tell you my top 30 favourite romantic movies of all time, since today is the day of love, of romance, Valentine's Day. Um, yeah, I'm a pretty hopeless romantic when it comes to movies. Like, I like a lot of romantic comedies and dramas and tearjerkers and all that crack. So there is some like movies that you wouldn't think are romantic movies, but for me there are, in my honest opinion, I think they are romantic. So this is going to be a very long list. So this is my top 30 favorite romantic movies of all time. Some of them may not be in order, but I just wrote them down anyway. So without further ado, let's begin. Number 30 is a very underrated rom-com. It's The Prince and Me, which stars Julia Stiles, Luke Mobley, and tells the story about this prince called Edward, played by Luke Mobley, who of course goes to Wisconsin, where he falls in love with this medical student girl called Paige, played by Julia Stiles. And she doesn't know at all he's a prince, because he kind of like goes undercover as a student because his parents want him to marry someone he doesn't want to marry. He wants to find love for himself. It's kind of got that Coming to America vibe about it. It's very cheesy, it's very corny, but I thought it was a sweet rom-com, so that's The Prince and Me. 29 is The Princess Diaries 2. The first one I liked because Mandy Moore was in it, but I liked the second one more because I thought it was better. Chris Pine's in this movie, actually. He's Nicholas, the love interest of Anne Hathaway, who reprises her role as Mia Thermopolis, Princess Amelia Thermopolis, Princess Amelia of Genovia. And this time, of course, she has to get married within 30 days or else she will lose her line for the throne. And with some hilarious results. Overall, I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was very funny in some parts. Especially like that sleepover at Julie Andrews, and she's there going, and then you hear that Pink song, I'm trouble, y'all. It was so, like, funny. So, yeah, that is The Princess Diaries 2. 28 is the Bridget Jones's trilogy. I loved all the three. I got them on DVD last year. Yeah. I found it very, very funny. I mean, Renee Zellweger stole the whole film as Bridget Jones, the desperate singleton who has the hots for two guys. Hugh Grant and Colin Firth were in the first two, but Colin Firth was joined by Patrick Dempsey in the third one, which I thought was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing at the third one. Out of all the three of them, I definitely think the third one was my favourite, along with the first one. The second one was average, but the third one was hilarious in the first one. I just thought they were hilarious films. And Renée Zellweger did a good job as the with English accent, so yeah, I thought she was very good. 27 is The Wedding Planner, which stars Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey. Alright. This movie is the definite cheesy, cringiest romantic film I've ever come across. It's so genetic, it's so predictable, but you can't help but fall in love with Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey being together. If you don't know what The Wedding Planner is about, well, it says it on the title. This girl called Mary Flores, played by Jennifer Lopez, she gets saved by this dashing doctor named Steve Edson, played by Matthew McConaughey, and she thought, well, this was her luck. But of course, it turns out that he is already getting married to someone else. And it's actually one of her clients' fiancés she falls for. They get to spend some time together, and of course throughout the movie they kind of fall in love, and you pretty much know what's going to happen in this film. Justin Chambers, who's in Grey's Anatomy, he stole the whole film as the Italian guy. He was so funny in it. Like, he goes, oh, I love you, Mary Flores, I love you, Mary. It was very, very funny. And yeah, that is The Wedding Planner. 26 is Life as You Know It, a very underrated Katherine Heigl film. Everyone seems to hate this chick. For me, I like Katherine Heigl. She's not the best actress of all time, but I thought she was great in this one with Josh Duhamel. It's kind of like Raising Hell with Kate Hudson, where she plays this girl who is on a date with this guy. He's an asshole. Of course, they don't want to see each other anymore, and it turns out that they're best friends that their two best friends die in a car crash and they have a child and they have to raise a child together, both Josh and Catherine's characters. And you can pretty much tell what's going to happen after that. So overall, I thought it was a very good film. I thought it was very romantic in some parts, and yeah, I like Lives Do Know It. Number 25 is a romantic comedy that both Mum and my granny and myself actually love. I think it's my mum's favourite romantic comedy of all time, my granny's favourite romantic comedy of all time. It is, of course, Made in Manhattan. This movie has got a Cinderella twist in it. It's about this woman called, oh god, Mercy Ventura, played by Jennifer Lopez again. Jennifer Lopez, and she ends up, like, she works in this really swanky, posh hotel where she meets this, what is he at all? He's a politician, played by Ray Fiennes, and when she puts on, like, these, like, one of the guests' clothes, the guy thinks that she is a guest, and of course she's not. And mistaken identity, of course, she ends up going by Caroline because he thinks her name is Caroline, but it's not. And you know, it involves really cheesy romantic moments involved, and yeah, I like it. I thought it was a very cute movie, and the guy, oh god, Tyler Posey, I think his name is Tyler Posey. He's the guy in Teen Wolf. He was like 12 at the time this film was made. He was adorable as a little guy. Ty, he was so cute. So yeah, I thought it was a very good film. 24 is another underrated romantic comedy, Serendipity, which stars John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale, and it's kind of like Sleepless in Seattle. We've got two people who fall in love. They realise that fate and destiny will obviously get them together again, so they end up keeping one pair of gloves, which sounds bizarre, but I know they do. And of course, eventually they actually get engaged to other people. The girl, Kate Beckinsale's character, Sarah Thomas, she gets engaged to this kind of like jazz musician, kind of this weird kind of jazz musician played by John Corbett. And the other guy, John Cusack's character, Jonathan, ends up engaged to this chick played by Bridget Monahan, and both Bridget and John star together in Ramona and Beezus as Selena Gomez's parents, which is trivia for you. Yeah, it's a very predictable film. It's very Christmassy as well, like Made in Manhattan was very Christmassy as well. But overall, I thought it was a good flick. I enjoyed it. It's very short though, so it's only on for like, what, 84 minutes, 85 minutes? It's a very short film. 89 minutes is on for. It's a very underrated film. I enjoyed it, and if you haven't seen it, do check it out. 23 is Sleepless in Seattle, which stars Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. As you may know, I love Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. I just adore them two together on screen or outside of their movies. I think they're really great. Tom Hanks plays this guy who's a widower, Sam Baldwin. I think it's Sam Baldwin. Yeah, Sam Baldwin. Who he's a widowed father to a little boy who rings in this radio station saying that his father desperately needs a wife. Meg Ryan plays Annie Reid. She overhears the conversation on the radio and she kind of feels sorry for them. And of course, the little boy would do anything to get Sam Baldwin, Tom Hanks' character, with Annie Reid played by Meg Ryan. And yeah, it's kind of got that Fair to Remember, but they kind of paid tribute to a Fair to Remember, which was a movie with Cary Grant, I think, or was it Home Protect something. But it's a very underrated romantic comedy. I loved it. I thought it was a very sweet movie, and yeah, that is Sleepless in Seattle. 22 is Me Before You. I bawled like a baby watching this film. Okay, now I know I should have said in the beginning that there is going to be spoilers, so there is going to be spoilers throughout these reviews, so you have been warned, some of them. Me Before You is it's a different romantic movie, because the movie actually discusses a lot about suicide. So yeah, it got a lot of controversy when it came out. It's not on TV at all. It's a very underrated film. Very controversial romantic movie it is. Basically Emilia Clarke plays this woman called Louisa Clarke. So she changed her surname, of course. She ends up minding this guy called Will Traynor, played by Sam Claflin, who is, of course, he's paralysed from the neck down. He can't obviously do anything for himself. He can't eat, he can't drink, he can't do nothing, he can't even walk or nothing, he can't move his head. He's literally like this the whole time, with a neck like this, he can't even move at all. And it turns, of course, he has six, of course, he wants to live for 6 months, and then when 6 months is up, he wants to, basically kill himself by assisting suicide in Switzerland. He wants to go to Switzerland to end his life. The ending of this movie, like I said, makes me cry in tears. It's a very heartbreaking film, but, that's life, these things happen, and that's what I like about this movie. I like the twist they gave. Like, I didn't like the kind of they took a topic that's never used in a lot of romantic movies, and that's what I like about this movie. They didn't, but if you haven't seen Me Before You, do check it out. If you with your significant other, if you have a DVD or just watch it. I thought it was very, very good. 21 is just like heaven. Long story short, I first hated this film, and then I saw it a couple of times more, and now I enjoy it. It's kind of like the female version of Ghost. Reese Witherspoon plays this workaholic doctor called Elizabeth Masterson, who ends up being involved in a car crash. Her spirit ends up staying in Earth. She meets this guy called David Abbott, played by Mark Ruffalo from 30 Gun 30 and the Avengers. And he is the only one that can see her, because he was the one that's supposed to go on a date with her, and she, of course, got, she he thinks that she's dead, but in actual fact she's in like a 3-month coma, and her sister's planning to turn off the life support machine. So yeah, it's a very underrated romantic comedy. If you haven't seen it, do watch it. I thought it was a good film. 20 is The Sound of Music. Classical film, I love it. Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer, what more do you want? 19 is Leap Year, stars Amy Adams and Matthew Good. I was going to say Matthew Crawley, Jesus, Matthew Good, isn't it? Very particular movie as well, but I enjoy it. Foster stars 18, love that film, breaks my heart every time. Shiley Woodley and Ansel Elgort did a tremendous job as both Hazel and Gus, the two star-crossed lovers who both have one thing in common: they both have cancer. She's stage 4 cancer in the lungs. He's got cancer in the bones, I think, because he lost his left leg. So yeah. 27 Dresses, very good film. I enjoyed that film. I've always liked that film. It was very underrated. So yeah. 16 is a movie that I do classify as a romantic comedy. It is, of course, Bicentennial Man. It's a very underrated film. So yeah, if you haven't seen Bicentennial Man, do watch that. I classify as a romantic comedy because it is a romantic comedy, drama, sci-fi, whatever. Robin Williams, God rest his soul, was in this film, and yeah, it's got a very sad premise. So it's futuristic, but the special effects are very good in my honest opinion. Especially Rob Williams, from being a robot to being a human. I thought that was really well done. So yeah. 15 is Proposal. I enjoyed that one as well. Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. Very funny movie. It reminds me of Why You're Sleeping, actually. Okay, 14 is Kate and Leopold. I enjoyed that film. I thought it was very, very good. It's like Enchanted, only it's kind of like, it's different than that, but I enjoyed that movie as well. Basically, Kate and Leopold is about this guy played by Duke of Albany, Leopold, played by Hugh Jackman, who of course gets transported to Washington, New York. He falls in love with this chick called Kate McKay, played by Meg Ryan, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's basically with these two characters getting together in the end, and they do, and yeah, it's a very sweet movie. I love that. Splash is next. Tom Hanks again, this time with Daryl Hannah. She plays a mermaid. He plays a guy who works in the fruit and veg place, and he falls in love with a mermaid and doesn't know she's a mermaid. And so yeah, My Best Friend's Wedding, love that film as well. Julia Roberts and Cameron Diaz, and it's like Maid of Honor actually. You've Got Mail, love that film. 30 Gun 30, love that film. Notebook, very, very sad. Enchanted, love Enchanted so much. It's a very, very good film. Tangled, yes, I classify Tangled as a romantic comedy. I don't care. Love the film. It's my favorite anime film of all time. Beauty and the Beast, both 91 and 2017. Even though I love the live action one more, but I love the film actually. Cinderella, romantic. Love the 2015 version, by the way. Walk to Remember, cried like a baby watching that film. While you're sleeping, love that romantic movie so much. Number one of my favourite romantic movies of all time is Titanic. So yeah, they're my top 30 favourite romantic movies of all time. I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe, and until next time, take care, peace out, bye, and happy Valentine's Day.